chat. Hello. It has been a very fascinating week. So, the live stream that we did last week has. I managed to complete it off stream and recorded the last of the session, and we made quite a deal of progress. This is a good thing. What is not a good thing is when I was editing the video to be put out onto YouTube for Tuesday, I discovered a few images on my computer that may have actually thrown a few spanners in the works. So this is the image that I have been presenting. The image that I have said, oh yeah, we could just use this and as a basis, because I can't find another image of this work with the exception of how it is now. Sorry, for some reason I have decided to want to do a whole load of burps. Jesus Christ. Okay. This image that we have been using is technically correct. Technically correct. What is not correct, however, is the fact that I have neglected my editing computer, which I gathered all of the resources and was the thing that made me determined to actually make this, because look what I found, chat. Let me see if I can embiggenate this for you. Okay, forgive the hash work of the terrible image quality. It's a scan of a blueprint which in and of itself is quite old, so it is quite an old copy of a copy. Anyway, this is the image that we are presented with. Most of the image we have already done. Most of what we have available to us has already been completed. There are, however, a few things that I said, doesn't really matter, or debated on how they were styled, and that would be the stairs that are not actually on the other side. I don't know why I'm trying to show you guys my cursor because it doesn't capture my cursor. So the stairs here that we spent about a week doing at the bottom aren't on the other sides, which means we're going to need to remove all of those, and as you can also see, there is only one single set of stairs. There are not two stairs like how we have it. It is only a single set of stairs. Now thankfully everything else is good. Everything else is perfectly good and fine, and we can continue doing it. The platform that it's currently standing on, we might need to tackle at a different time, because I completely forgot how we actually do that, and I don't want to do another calculation set on screen, because the last time that we did that I felt rather awkward because it was just you guys looking at this while I was doing all of the calculations. It was a terrible thing. I didn't want to do it. Sucks. I'm going to do that this week, right, coming up. It does also show you the dome. Now the dome we have completed. The dome's completed. All well and good. Now we're moving on to the interior. What it doesn't show is the fact that, technically speaking, our little ledge is not depicted. the ledge that we constructed before we did the dome isn't technically on here, meaning that that part is a minor fabrication on my fault. Now, the reason why I'm not going to remove that is because, according to this image, and according to... where's the other image that I've got? According to the side profile that we have, I'm just going to put it that way, according to the side profile that we have, there is another ledge there. So that's not me hallucinating, that is not the image being wrong, because it's an eyeballed sketch, I say sketch, an eyeballed plan of a plan or a series of plans. It is not wrong, technically speaking. The ledge exists, but also it doesn't exist. There's a big problem with a lot of these old works that are purely hypothetical. The artist changes them over time as they work on them. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I found was how or where I should say, this image is going to be presented. So that in the middle, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're working on now. Do you remember when I said a couple of weeks back that the grounds that this is on is huge, and this is actually part of something completely different? So if I can actually get this on screen fully, which is quite difficult. This is part of the setup called Temple to the Supreme Being, right? This is what we're going to be working on at some point in the future. It's not going to be the next thing that we work on, because holy moly, that is going to take months, right? Just the hill that it's standing on alone is going to take months. I have no clue how we're going to be doing the actual hill, because I don't know where to start with it. My base theory, my base thought on this project is that it is a square lump, a square mound in which paths or roads go up. The reason why I guess that is because that is also present on a lot of his other work, right? Big square geometric shape, pattern repeated everywhere else. Then we have everything below the cenotaph to Sir Isaac Newton, which I am assuming is huge, utterly, ginormously huge, kilometers huge, right? Because I am on the base assumption that the mound that we are looking at is at least 1 kilometer wide. Okay? At least 1 kilometer. And it is many, many kilometers back that we are taking this quote-unquote picture from, right? That is a lot of things that we need to do. I also, speaking of things that I need to do, where is it gone? Be in this folder. Cool. So there's another thing that we need to do, and that is the interior of the build. Now, the interior of the build, thankfully, is, I want to say, easier to do, but it is not, in fact, going to be very easy to do. Ignore my clicking, I am just trying to pick up all of the images that I need. Now there is one particular image that I know exists, right? I know exists. We're bringing this image back. This is not the image. The image that I know exists is an interior plan, so top-down view of the floor plan of what this looks like inside. Okay, I have that image downloaded on a separate computer. I was looking for it before the stream. I cannot find it, but I know it exists. So for now, we are going to ignore that. The same way that we're going to ignore that this thing is actually or supposed to be a solid structure. I could theoretically increase the file size of the world or the weight and trueness of the structure by trying to actually fill in the thing, but nobody wants that. Nobody wants it to download a thing and then all of a sudden have to clear out a gazillion blocks of quartz or cobblestone or whatever just so I could be hypothetically correct on what the interior would be like, because this is Minecraft. The entire thing is floating off the ground already, okay? We're barely doing realism as it is. With that being said, the inside of the sphere, the thing that I have all of the cross colours for and the thing that I've got circled out, right? In the plan that I've seen, it is the same kind of structure, that material, so marble in my case, or limestone perhaps, that is plastered and a night/day sky is painted inside. You can just about see it on this image if I zoom it in, right? If I zoom this in big enough, you could just about see the interior, because it's supposed to be you walk up and you're surrounded by the clouds and you're looking up at the night sky into the solar system or whatever. The big questions of life, the foundations of, you know, big brain smart things that Sir Isaac Newton, I should say, was known for, which includes very precise holes where the stars would be. Now, if this was actually constructed, it would have been a fantastic indicator of what the stars in the night sky would be like in the 17 going on to the 1800s. We don't have that ability. The closest we have to that ability would be to poke 1 by 1 square holes everywhere in the vague shape of sky, which I don't really fancy doing because I am not very good with trying to copy the night sky. Here's what I am going to do though. Down where all of the people are, up 7-10 blocks, right? That is going to be possibly cobweb with wool behind it. Okay. Then everything else, so all of the starry bits, that's going to be skulk. Now, you already saw plans for me doing the orbital light thing, the solar system light thing, which should be very easy to just build in because I've already got everything worked out for it. Just bring that down to a manageable. There we go. So yeah, those are a few things that I wanted to correct. For now, I want to try and get this image. There we go. We'll use this image now to help us correct a few mistakes that we have on our build, and then we can actually start working on the interior. And hopefully my PC doesn't crash, or the stream doesn't crash again. It shouldn't, because I am trying to use as minimal amount of stuff as possible so that it doesn't overheat. I have also cooled my room down significantly. It is currently 5 degrees centigrade in my room. I've had my window open all day. I have had it go flowing through outside my door with a fan. It is cold as all hell here. If my PC heats up and crashes the stream, I do not know what's wrong with it. I've turned off the shaders. I've limited as much resource packs as I can without it ruining the look that I'm going for. I should probably change this image. We could do image. Cool. Well, editing things during the stream, that's never happened before. I lie. The worst thing about squared image is that you can't put it where you actually need to, where it replaces the old image. There we go. That's good. That should be good enough. I also, for all those curious, I have also added a new song to the background roster, which is a sampled version of a song that I quite like, ignore that, called Caterpillars of the Commonwealth. No, I tell a lie, it's called Hooked, but it's by the same band that does Caterpillars of the Commonwealth. Both are very good songs. I highly recommend you check them out. Unfortunately, I cannot play any of their songs because they will get me taken off of Twitch. Because, unfortunately, or I should say fortunately for them, but unfortunately for me, they're copyrighted. So, yeah. I'm so glad that we have Axiom, because this is just going to take me such a short amount of time. It is unbelievable. X3? No, X2. There we go. I've also saved this loadout, which makes things even more easier for me when I am doing other projects. Sorry, I've got a very sore throat. I don't know what I'm talking about. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, I'm going to come over here, but this is only just to show off what this thing is. This thing is supposed to be a sort of courtyard for over here. But this is too low down to the ground for me to fully show this off. This goes down to a pool. Underneath it is cyan glass. The reason being it's supposed to be some sort of a mansion basically a mega base that I have planned if I ever were to do a survival world, but I don't, so yeah, the inside is largely irrelevant, just basic lighting. Curtains. Onto this again. I'm not getting distracted. What are you talking about? Can I guess do this? Huzzah. Do we have it so it's one block, or do we have it so it's all lined up? We have it so it's lined up, okay. Album today. I quite like some of their music. I am not entirely sure what they were going for with this new album, but it works surprisingly, and I guess there's not much more to say from that without going into the nitty gritty of the album. If you haven't listened to it yet, I highly recommend it. My favourite song is possibly The Happy Dictator, but that's only because of the fact that out of all of them it is perhaps one of the chillest songs next to the mountain itself. Have also noticed slightly new introduction stuff, stream openers. That is because I want to try and limit as much editing that I can do as possible on Saturdays and that. The reason being, it's just going to be easier for me production-wise. I do have a version that isn't in relation to Minecraft as well for the next game that we're doing. I have bought Fallout, the original Fallout at that, and the reason being I quite liked Fallout 3. Fallout 3 got me into the game. I could not, unfortunately, play Fallout New Vegas, mostly for for the fact that I didn't own it. But I do now. I own it now, which is a good thing. And the plan is to finish Fallout 1, go to Fallout 2, then Fallout 3, then to New Vegas, then to Fallout 4, then to 76, doing all of the story mode stuff. I am not doing the DLCs, mostly because I don't really think they actually add anything in terms of the base gameplays or the base lore. Sure, some of them might do, but the game's like a decade old at this point, over a decade old. You don't really need somebody to play something that you could very easily watch other people play, I guess. I say that. Please do watch me when I play them. It will mean a lot. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just trying to fill space. Dead air, as it were. But yeah, I also, quite frankly, I know somebody else who's played the DLCs in addition to the main storyline, and they say it doesn't really add much to the actual game itself. It's nice, it adds to the lore very nicely, but yeah. Also, one of the main reasons, or other reasons, why I'm doing a game or a playthrough of the Fallout series is because I was not too impressed with the Fallout series. And this is just through someone who has cursorily played the games. I tried getting into Fallout 4, I keep booting it up and having play saves for it. I just don't like that game. I've seen somebody go through the lore of that game and it's wild. I've seen people try and explain the lore of Fallout 76. Wild. I have a new tea today. I have run out of the red berry tea, which is rather unfortunate. That was a good tea. I now have Tesco's own chai vanilla tea, which, gotta say, isn't that bad. But at the same time, if this is what people are hyped up about when it comes to, oh, you need to do chai this and chai that, I don't get it personally. It's not something I would rave about. Let me consult the image. I really should actually make a big image for myself. Just so I have something to consult while you guys have the little image at the bottom of the corner. going quiet and trying to determine exactly how we can do the angle of the trees. What I suppose we should probably do is the other side. Just remove all of this lot. Having seen that there is nothing on this side to actually worry about. And then we could just come from here down to here. How much of that does that clip? Not good. So here down to here. Okay, that only really clips off that bit, which is acceptable. Replace these real quick, just so I don't take those out as well. I do love this tool. It is a very wonderful tool indeed. I saw that they're coming out with a new faraway tree movie. Well, I say a new one. A faraway tree movie. I, personally, faraway tree was top notch when I was a kid. Listen to the books again because I don't really have a lot of time to read during the day. Listen to the audiobooks again. I do not feel like it's going to do justice to the actual book series. Now, it is a modern movie, of course they aren't going to do it justice. But I feel like it's not going to do it justice in the way that a lot of people are going to expect. I've seen the trailer, it is going to take place in modern day, womp womp. But it does at least do us, or give us one thing, and that is a faraway movie. I don't like how modern media outlets have treated Enid Blyton's work over the past 5-10 years or so. But that's only because the people that have been doing that don't really write it for the intended audience. They write it for an audience that they make up in their head, because why would they want to write for a captured audience when they could just make up an audience and pander to them and then realise it's not actually going to work? This film is going to flop. I am 100% just dyed in the wool. I know that it's just going to flop no matter what. But it's not going to stop me from watching it. No siree, it's not going to stop me from watching it at all. My only hope is that it at least tries to copy some of the material. And from what I can see, they're at least doing that. This we can just sort of make a... How can we do this? I'm trying to make one of those weird stone arches. What are they called? Encapsulums or whatever? One of those things. And we'll do X3 just to have a new hotbar. Should we do diorite? It feels wrong to do diorite as pillars. Yeah, let's not do the diorite as pillars. But yeah, the Faraway movie is coming out March 27th. So next week. 2 weeks away on a Friday. I am going to go see it. I am a grown man who is willing to sit down and watch the Faraway movie. I have now said that out loud, and I do not know how to feel about it. It's one of those things that I'm just going to have to take as stride, as the fact that I have said it is now on record, and the fact that I am going to be doing it. It is sort of mildly disappointing, realising this is what my life has come to. Crikey. Even my own body doesn't like it. X2. Anyway, I will watch it. I will report back. I am still going to like it, or try to like it as much as possible. And if it is completely and utterly shit, as I expect it to full well be, oh well. Oh well. There is not really much I can do about it. Because, obviously, I paid for it. Well, not the production of the film. I paid for the ticket. I can't exactly get my money back doing that. And I can't unsee what has already been shown to me, so... yeah. Not much I could do. Can we try and... no. There's no prominent doorway thing on this side. So why did I spend so long trying to do that side then? I don't know. Trying to make this side at least somewhat interesting, I suppose. this side as well. Copy. Ah, right, okay. Not how I was expecting it to be. Smear. It is smear. Marvellous. That brings us out onto here. Which, for the meantime, I'm just going to replicate the doorway over on that side as well. I know you guys can't see anything, just give me a second. Oh, no, that is marvellous. That is not potions. That is not potions. Where have they put everything? There we go. Night vision. There we go. Now we do the same thing on the other side. I think it would be better if we actually clone a segment. From that point down to this point. There we go. And then we do smear. With that done, I guess we can focus now on the trees. How do we come? Grab some milk. Just to remove the potion effect. And now we clone the trees. Or at least one tree. We'll start with this tree first. Now, from what I can see from I can see of... Will this pop-up just piss off? There we go. Sorry, I've got something updating in the background. Anyway, from what I can see, I'll finally get there. The trees start at a 30-degree angle from the centre, meaning that they're just off angle with the start of the stairs, and from this view just before the start of the slope. However, there is a tree directly at the start of the slope. Meaning that if we start it here, which would give us barely a one block to the edge. I'm going to shift it in one just so we could have one block to the edge. So they start there. And what we are going to do is erase these. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. I am currently building the cenotaph to Sir Isaac Newton, which is a famous project by a French architect. Yes, technically, this is the game that I have the most hours on. That's just because I am bad at, well, every other game. And it's one of those things that I could just play for hours, because hours usually go by and I completely don't realise, which I think is quite common when you're playing this game. And yes, I have been sitting here talking to myself for, what is it, 50 minutes? I think it's either that or that. That will allow us to get the angle that we need. How's my stream going? Okay, for some reason my Twitch add-on that I have to my Minecraft game does not have... Oh, thank you, Geordie. I was about to say something. Yeah, for some reason the Twitch thing that I have enabled doesn't want to work, and when it wants to work, it's on the very rare occasion. You can see the project that we're working on in the bottom right hand corner. It is quite a build if I show you so far. This is currently my fourth week of building this. So thankfully we have Axiom, otherwise I would still be building that bit down there, which caused me a lot of troubles the first week. I have been it's not the only game. I stream Minecraft on a Monday, so I'm doing this on a Monday, and then starting this week I'm playing Fallout 1, the first one, mostly because I want to do the whole series, just so I can see at what point the game starts to become fun or funny. And I've heard that the first one is taken very serious, but also not too serious that it's not playable, I guess. I should probably have a better way to stream, not stream, see my chat, because my chat bar is not working for for the most part. No clue why. Believe it or not, mostly just trying to work on this at the moment. However, I am also currently helping my friend write a book. I am his researcher because I go into a lot of detail when I research, apparently, and that's a thing that he kind of likes it. So yeah, it's quite an interesting book. He doesn't want to tell anyone about it yet, so this is technically spoilers. So I've really got to stop saying so. I've noticed that I say it a lot. Very annoying. Is that in line with that? Just about. If we do that, yes, cool. And then do 2. Do it there. I would not call myself a good person, mostly. Hand-drawn, you say? That's quite a talent. A lot of my artwork, I guess you could say, is very digital, very pixelated. That's only because I can't draw. I can't draw very big pictures. So that is something that I've got to work on. But hand-drawn pictures, you say, or illustrations, as you put. Very nice. If we figure out where these could go every 2 blocks, that would be great, and not try and mess up like I have done several other times I've done this. That'd be also great. Then 2, like that, 2, yeah, that's 2 blocks. We're gonna leave a very weird, is that 30 degrees? Yeah, if you want to tag me, are you on? Oh, I have not seen that before. 1 second. Allow. Yes, I am on Discord. Discord is the same username I will do after this stream, Geordie. After this stream, I don't like doing stuff during the stream unless it's absolutely necessary. Geordie Brown 00. Is that because number 4 was already taken, or is that just because Geordie 004 is just your 4th account? I suppose this would be here. I would like to, Geordie. Unfortunately, I am slightly busy if you can't see, but I will endeavour to check you out at some point, and not in the creepy way that I did not realise that was coming off as. But yeah, I will see what I can do. But yeah, enjoy the chill music, enjoy me rambling on as I try and build this if you want to stay for that long, or you don't have to stay, I don't particularly mind. It's not the first time that stuff like this has happened. Finish there, right? Hey! That's coming together good. Well, I should say, not good. It is good, it's not coming together. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Don't know why. Didn't need to start work until 9 o'clock. Takes about 5 minutes to commute. What's the big deal with that? Oh, I know what's the big deal with that. It's because the sun woke me up. I forgot to close my blinds. This tea doesn't work when it's cold. It really doesn't work. I usually like cold tea, mostly because I forget about it until it is cold. But that tea, vanilla chai, Tesco's own, not very good, no siree. And unfortunately, I have 56 more bags, and I do not like wasting the stuff that I buy. So I'm stuck with that tea until it is run out. We now just have to painstakingly go around and do all of those trees, which, to be honest, wasn't the plan, but it needs to be done, and then we can work on the inside, which is a lot better than not working on the inside or doing nothing. Think about it, you could be doing nothing with your time right now and still have a better experience than doing something like, I don't know, this. What if I was to use smear instead of extrude? Oh, much better. And of course I did it on the last one. The worst part, I have to say, about this is the fact that I can't copy this thing all the way around. I could have done that any other time, but since I've got this and that and the second ring, no siree, cannot do a single thing about it. But what I can do, I have just noticed I can do, is I can build up to here and then I can mirror it. So it's what, another 2 trees? So just post that there. So I can use this. Maybe. No, because that's difficult to... I know what I can do. And it's going to pain me. Remove that. The floor is gone. We're going to have to redo the floor. It's probably not the best thing, But if it means that I could do this easier, it means I could do this easier. These are going to be so asymmetrical, aren't they? No, they seem to be about as symmetrical as it can be. Okay, so we'll finish that for now. And then we'll do the next stuff. This stuff. Is this on the diagonal that confuses me so much? Yes, it is. Right. Do that and then come all the way over here and then Control F. Marvelous. That should be the 30 degrees down. should turn off clouds, but oh well. Start off on this side, we can work our way back. Is the wrong place. Cool. Now I feel like I have slightly messed up somehow. By not turning this side like I am turning this side, because this side was based off of a turn and this side isn't. What it looks to me, this one, is that is in line with that. So this should hopefully be in line with the centre of that, which is not. What if I was to copy this? So we do rotate to there and then F. So it should give us a little slope like this. Now I just need to figure out where this works. Here? Surely not. No, because you're a 3. So here. But no, because you're... Oh, my brain. My brain hurts. It should be so simple, but it is not simple at all. It is the exact opposite of simple. It is difficult. legs up. Maybe change of position will help. It won't, but one can always hope. Not wrap my foot around my mouse. There we go. So if we come from over here and then over to here, now seeing that it is the first, second 4 from there. Yep. So first 4, second 4. What's the difference? Okay, now I've made a mess. Find the second 4 again. It's over here. And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to erase this because we can easily undo it. Same thing again. One block off. So we do this. And that should give us a somewhat sorted center. I think for the sake of me looking at this nicely, we're going to have the inner trees be the 2 closest inner ones. Et voila. Delete the random staircase that is here. Good. Good. Now we can clone this. Hopefully. wrong. We need a temporary block here. Actually, let's make it something different. Oak block. Oak block. Control F. Now we have one side complete. How much is this messed up? It's messed up fairly decently. Okay. Undo that. This is the center, right? I'm not making things up. Yeah, so we should have a 2-block gap. Here. Control F. Block gap. And a misaligned Do you know what I say to this kerfuffle? Do you know what I say to us? Why is this like this? Hang on a second. Do we have an extra large gap here? We do. We do. That explains some of our fires. Do we have a big gap over here? No, we do not have a big gap over here. Why do we have a big gap over here then? You. You know how we're going to sort this out, chat? Very easy. We cannot have a 4-block gap, but we can have a 3-block gap. That's how we're going to explain that. Although we could have a 2-block gap and just move everything over by 1. Not the most satisfying way of doing things, but it works. Except for you. You need to be... Oh, come on. You need to be 1 black. Yes. Good. So that does mean we're going to have a 4-gap center. that I think we can live with for now. Mr. Ghost 3GG. Oh, it's a thing. It's a emote that doesn't really transfer. Cool. Yeah, we're just gonna have to live. I did not want to do that. Okay, is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. Okay, cool. We're just going to have to live with this stuff, and we're going to have to just delete the overhangs, because quite frankly there's not much I could do from there. Any other protrusions? Nope, all good. I'm going to sort this. Could sort it with another bench. Benches will come in handy. There does need to be four of these trees. So maybe a bench facing this way. Because remember, there's going to be slabs down here. And then we could do a bench facing that way. That way. When the time doth come. Now you're only a one block gap to look like that. Need a way to copy this section without copying this section. What if we just copy from here? Flip. Control R. Flip. much are you going to change? Quite not a lot, actually. You're going to be relatively the same. Kinda. We flip you over here for now. Seems like the better choice to do. Well, my Discord username is the same as my Twitch name, pretty much the same as my YouTube name, and I think that's it. Yeah. I've seen a guy on Twitter impersonating me, which I've spoken to the guy about, and he blocked me. So there's not much I could do Twitter-wise. I don't recommend following over there. But yeah, that basically the same thing all around. Shouldn't be too hard to find me. Oh, that's buggered this side up. Note that side's just naturally buggered up. Okay. How has that managed to occur? You also double? No. So this is just a freak of nature, apparently. Yeah. Delete this stuff. We'll sort that out soon, I guess. What's the major differences over here? Not much. Just surface stuff, really. Yeah, I'll get to that when I have time. Geordie. There we go. Now we have this outer section done, we could do the inner section, which is going to be fun. I think to start off with, we'll just flip this. Now this looks to be at least 5 blocks apart. Let me consult my map here. Four blocks apart, indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll come over here, grab these, come all the way back. Actually, we won't, we'll come here, just replace those. Fancy bench. All good. Let me consult the picture again. Now I know that there is no bench technically on the plan, but we have to work with what we've got. What we've got is a very, very bad way of planning things. Things can either be odd, they can be even, they can't necessarily be both, which is a shame. Positioning. Now, theoretically, I could copy from there over to there and then flip it like we did with over there. However, we would also copy the interior, which I don't want to do, and we can't exclude in our selection, which makes things extra difficult indeed. Is do the inside quarter of this, flip it over, and that would at least be the back done. do the next part of this, flip it over, and that'll be that side done. With the caveat of trying to make the inside, with the exception of trying to make the inside stick, which is going to be very difficult to do. It would also mean copying this armature, which, again, don't want to do. Copy the bench as a halfway point. Control R. Looks good. Finish and copy that. And because this is a rectangle where the shape can technically be seen one way or the other, just copy this and put it over here. Et voilà. What I'm going to do now is something very tricky. I'm hoping it works. I am slightly concerned about the fact that none of the ledges actually line up so far, which does not bode well for me. So that was supposed to be there. Any other weird oddities? No. Fix up the underside of this though. What about the overside of this? All good, all clear up until this point. And then it's back to being good again. Marvellous. Copy this side. Everything should fit, which it does. Perfect. Now we need to find the inside circle of this. I'm going to copy these two trees. Find 4 out. Tree was like this. Then we do 1, 2. That. I'm not entirely sure how you calculate a 30-degree angle in this game. Especially when you have stuff in the way. But it does look as if that's there. Where's the center ones? Here's the center ones. We place these copy here, down there. Really hoping this is correct. I don't think they are. Out of all of the things that I had planned today, this particular part of it was not something that I was expecting to take too long. That's all straight. That's simple. Here is where we get to the issue, where it starts to curve. Yeah, you see that doesn't really line up to 3 blocks. This comes back down to 1 block. You know what I think is going to be easier? Come in here, active, muddy mangrove roots. We come down to, where's the shape tool? Shape tool. Cylinder. Hollow. Height 1. Diameter. What's the diameter going to be? Oh, it's control. If we do 250 for now, and then we come out, go inside, we place that down. Okay, how do we make it on green? Shoot? Yes, shoot. Place that inside there. Speed us up a little. Bring this down as well. Slowly, 225. 224. How close is this? That's 1 block off. That's not going to help. That's also one block off. Okay. So we know this inner circle is 222. At least. Let me check on the other sides just to make sure. Yes. I should have done this from the start. I really should. Good. Place that. Now we come back in. Place another one. And that's all aligned now. $218. No. $212. Looks good over here. Lines up with that. Lines up with that. Lines up with that. We bang that circle out. We place another one. Align it in there. Drag it down. Two 8. 0. No. 208. No, just off. 206. That's good over there. That's good over here. Now we have the difficult path of... Oh, my phone is going to fall. Now we have the difficult path of actually placing the trees. I wonder, is there a way of making a dot? No, there isn't. No. Okay. That's a shame. What I will do is decrease this speed again. Oops, if I clicked on the tab. that just eyeballing it, we've managed to get vaguely onto the right centre. Whoops. Oh well. Surely that won't come back to haunt us. Okay, so this has an odd centre. Shall remember that. It'll work on the inner centre first. These one in? No, they're just... Yeah, those need to be there. Here, right? And I have already forgotten that where exactly. Piss. I should have done the trees first, then done the done the mud. So you start angling here. go there. Yeah. I feel like you will like that. Lovely boy racers. Still don't know what compulses people to do that. Oh yes, I have this brand new I have this old car. Let me just pump it full of nitrous and straighten out my pipe, despite the fact that it's going to piss off everybody. Even though I think that's a bike, which makes it even worse. Yeah, surely it must be like that then. Right? I think I am going to take a break, just a little break from doing that, and come to the inside. Coming into the inside, and we're going to do this. Skulk. We need skulk. We need sphere? Sphere. Hollow sphere. And we're going to put this to a diameter of, we'll do 180. Oh, piss. Not 180 then. 74. So this is probably not going to be in the center now that I've jiggled it about. I also remember it's squished. I think for now, we could just do 100's too small. 130. find a better way of looking at this. Yeah, that looks about right. Though you're probably not in the centre now, are you? No, you are. $136. $142. $144. Okay, 144. Separate. $132. Yeah, I think I found out why my game keeps crashing, because oh boy, does it get quite laggy. Not 132. 134. $36. Okay, bottom seems to be fine. Top seems to be fine. Don't worry about the glitching out round here, because it's mostly just to do with the block selection, hard edging. Increase speed. The outside seems to be fine. Inside. Also seems to be fine. All made out of skunk. Good. Okay. Now we come up over here. But then we increase the speed, which makes me go do an alley. I'll show you why we did the skulk in a minute. Could of course add in some artificial stars, but for now sculpt is what we're going to have to do. show you what it looks like with the night vision. Wow, magical. It's got this teal green everywhere. What else? And we could probably work on underneath here, but I don't want to. Also, I came up with this, I know, 2 hours 15 into the stream, and I'm just pointing out things that I've already done. I've made myself a little sigil. This is a random, well, it's more specifically supposed to be an owl. I wonder why. It's supposed to be an owl. Unfortunately, I can't make the eyes orange because the pattern just won't work. But this is a little sigil that I made that's probably going to be going around somewhere. Back to the trees, I suppose. What if we just keep with the 2 blocks apart part? We may have actually less trees on this side if we do it that way. Unless we could try and curve it around even more. If that's the halfway point between there and over there, then surely we could just do this. And then what does the map say? I say we just do it like this for now. Do it like that. Oh, that looks ugly. that at least keeps up with the symmetry. Ugly but tenable. What if we do... So there's only one tree. Better. Right. Time to actually plant the trees then. Marvellous. Now how do you look? Much better. I am saying it now. I'm doing this. There is no take backsies because, boy howdy, is this one of those things that you could just go back and forth with all the time and not really actually agree to any specific thing, because simply the medium is the difficult part. Also, we could just come back to this if we decide otherwise in the future. Like I said, the beginning of the stream, there is an opportunity to come back and redo some of these trees, or redo some of these things, simply because we have the ability to do so, because we're going to be seeing this building again. Also, the line of dirt may or may not be there. It's very difficult to tell in the drawing. By the looks of it, it's just the shadows of the trees. Okay. Do that. Yeah. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do that. Come here. And there, I suppose. Maybe there? So you start angling here. So naturally you should be going there then. Yeah. Or counterpoint. You there. You there. Reason being, we could justify this as being 2 blocks, we could justify that as being 2 blocks, that is 2 blocks, and then that's 2 blocks. Ignore the 1 block center there. Or these three be one block. They sort of have to be. Unless we do that, which I don't know. It's going to have to be like that. That's the closest compromise. Closest compromise always has to win. Otherwise we'll be here all day. Privilege, unfortunately, I cannot bestow. Not duplicated anything weird, is it? No. Cool. Why has it not duplicated the trees here? Because it hasn't here. Easily fixable. Come back and replace the bits that we're missing. and then F. We should tie us round all the way to over here. Perfect. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I just need to duplicate this point over to this point. It should ignore the slabs, which it does. Brilliant. Then Control F. Come along. There we go. Now, with the exception of the muddy mangrove roots underneath some of the trees and muddy mangrove roots where there should not be, the top, I want to dare say, is done. We now just have to get rid of all of the dirt. I've had an idea what we could do. Miraculous idea, although it does cause this to happen. I'd say as long as we're careful, it should be fine. So I have just realised I haven't spoken for a bit, being just concentrated on this really. There's also not much commentary that you could do when it's just trying to fill this back in. I tell you what I will do though. I'll get as far as I can tonight, and then over the course of the week or so, I'll do this. And then when we get back, all of this top bit should be done. And then we can focus on the inside. Now, the inside, I have figured out, looking at the drawing, actually has multiple entrances and exits. Multiple of these. It's just this one is the most fancy one. And these are on every point along the sides. Marble table. Do we have actually any? No. It's going to have to be these pale oak. Of these. There we are. Oh, maybe not. That's better. Wide table over there? Who knows? I mean, the middle section here is going to be entirely inaccurate anyway, because we can't put any trees on this part. What if, instead of a table, we do a little fountain? We have some sure. Can't necessarily arc that, can we? Could do that, or this, but that doesn't look good. A little pond then. A wishing well. I am actually quite surprised because the stream hasn't died, which is a good thing. Better than the last time that we did this. We smear this all the way to the edge. Confirm. The thing that I like about this smear tool is the fact that once it hits something, it doesn't keep going. Well, this is most of it done. And we still have 5 minutes to go, which is a first. We usually have quite a few bits that we need to complete before we can end stream. here. No, this could be... This could use some of our attention. Really trying to finish this off before we end the stream, because we've just hit the 3-hour mark. So I'd at least like to try and sort that out before we disappear. And then the stuff in between the trees I'll come back and sort out at a later date. Where's my platform gone? I had a platform. I know I did not delete the platform. And I made it out of acacia, so I should be able to see it against the sky. If I can I see its shadow? Should be able to. This is just ridiculous. Tell you what isn't ridiculous, how well this is coming along. With the trees in place and the stairs corrected and everything coming together, we're getting there. I was wrong last week to say that we only had a few weeks left. I was expecting correcting the trees to not take the entire session, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. Chat, I have had a very nice day recording this. I hope you've enjoyed it too. And I'm going to leave you now with the new not the new introduction, the new end screen. Goodbye. And for YouTube viewers, I am live Monday every 8 p.m. GMT to 11 o'clock GMT in the afternoon. And yeah, I'll see you later. Goodbye.